Hi, welcome to another Lawn Fawn video. I'm Kara and today we are creating a frosty set of gift tags. And so I'm using Snowball Fight, Mice on Ice, Over the Mountain Borders, Say What Christmas, and the Winter Big Scripty Words hot foil plates with coordinating dies. Also the Tag Your It main tag with pixie dust sparkle and bristol cardstock, and the snow stamp from Window Scene Winter. All right, so I'm going to start with some hot foiling. This is the Spellbinder Glimmer machine, but any of the hot foil machines would work. And here are those hot foil plates. Now, what I did was plugged it in and put the main plate on and waited for the green light. So now the green light is on. I'm putting my hot foil plates on there. I decided, okay, just 3. Let's just do 3 at a time. Started the timer, and when that stopped blinking, I could put my foil on top. And this is from the Glimmer Foil Variety Pack by Spellbinders. There's some white cardstock, and now the 2 shims or plates. And I'm pulling that off of the machine, and I'm going to run it through my Big Shot, just like that. And here it is off the Big Shot. Pull that up and move the plate out of the way, and oh joy, it really is beautiful. I don't know, I'm addicted now. I'm kind of new to the whole hot foil world, but I can see why people get addicted. All right, so I'm just taking those off and put those on the cooling mat while I get my machine prepped for the next 3. So again, I'm going to wait for that green light to come on. And once that's on, it's ready to go. I can put the timer on. So I'm getting everything prepped first. And while I'm waiting, I'm also going to die cut out these scripty words. And so I have the coordinating dies. You can see here, and I'll take that over to my Big Shot and just cut those out. By the magic of video, I can speed up time. So my machine is ready, and I'm putting those words on there. Start the timer. Now, you could start the timer and then put those hot plates on there, but I always put them on first. I don't know why. And then put that foil face down, put my paper on top, and then those 2 plates. Pull it out from the machine and run it through my Big Shot. And here it is, all set again. I'm going to put that aside, move my machine, and let's look. Ah, fa la la. It's just gorgeous. Oh, and here are the ones that are cut out from the Big Shot. And so they cut out beautifully. And I just love the way a die cuts out an image, because it leaves kind of a, I don't know, not a real beveled edge, but there's just something about it. I used to be a fussy cutter. I fussy cutted everything. I love dies now. I am a big fan of coordinating dies. They just leave such a nice crisp edge. All right, here's that second group of words all cut out, and they're ready to go. There's glimmer in the words, so I want some glimmer in the sky as well. So I am putting on this snowfall, and I'm using some clear ink that up and stamp that down on the top part of my tag. And then I'm going to move my tag over. I'm watching the grid lines on my MISTI to figure out where to move it to get that second part on my tag. And just stamp that down. And now I'm going to use some Unicorn Sparkle embossing powder. There it is. Sprinkle that on, and then I'll heat that up, and then I'll have some snowy, sparkly, wonderful winter weather on the top of my tag. All right, I'm just going to heat that up, and I found that heating it up from the back of the cardstock really works well for the Unicorn Sparkle embossing powder. I can watch it better to make sure I'm not, I don't know, overheating it, I guess. So I have them all stamped out, and they're going to be divided with the scripty words like that. And I could either cut it out of the top of the tag or the bottom, which is that pixie dust sparkle cardstock. But I decided that I would cut them out of the top of the tag. So I'm going to use the words as the bumpy top of the snow. Almost blizzard-like, like the Chicago blizzard of '79. Not great for the adults. Our neighbor's garage collapsed, but oh, for us kids, it was fantastic. My brother and I built some pretty amazing forts that year. Well, more my brother than me, but I enjoyed them very much. All right, well, time to ink blend these snowy skies, and I'm going to use some salvaged patina and chipped sapphire. Yeah, well, that blizzard started like an episode from Little House on the Prairie, the snowstorm one where the kids were released from school early. Well, we were released early, and the gate to the train track crossing was closed, so we had to walk down to Harding Avenue to get across. It took about 4 hours. I think a police officer came by and picked us up. It was just one of those things you'll remember forever. All right, well, now I'm taking a paper towel and just buffing off that ink so that my snow shines through. And then I'm matching up my words with the sky, and I'll use some 1/4 inch double-sided tape to adhere the sky to the sparkle cardstock. Now that has a texture to it, so the double-sided tape really holds down well. And then I can put my words up against that negative section, and I'm going to glue those down. Now, I would have been better off waiting to glue them down until after I had my little characters ready because I want them standing in the snow or somehow behind those letters. And well, you'll see, I just have to work around that. But here they are, all glued down. I see it. I say, no, wait, don't do it. But I did. And they're all set. And now I want to put a back on these tags so that I have a to and from. And I'm using the Say What Christmas critters to do that. There are some different to and from words in there. So I chose a to and a from. And I'm using some Blue Jay ink to stamp out those words. It matches well with the color on the front of the tag. So here they are, to and from. I actually stamped them twice. I did not need to, but I just always do. And now I can add those backs to the front of the tag just using some tape runner adhesive. I could have just stamped on the back of the sparkle cardstock, but I like the look of this white cardstock on the back, and it's also creating a nice thick tag. Now, these tags could be left just as they are, but I want to add some fun characters to them, and so I'm inking them up with some jet black ink, and that is Copic friendly. I'm going to use my Copics to color them all. And I didn't know how many or who was going to get on these tags, so I just stamped up 2 sets of them. And now I'm taking my trusty stamp chamois and cleaning them off and onto the coloring. So I'm using E40s and cool grays and warm grays for these mice. And I'm just going to show a couple of them because I pretty much did them all the same. So I like to find my shadows, and I'm blending that in from where I had the shadow. Decided that I could go darker. And so here's a E43 to put in those darker shadows. I don't get very dark on this little guy. Blending that up into his body and onto my next little guy. So not a lot of coloring. I will come back and do a little bit on his tummy and his ears and all that. But here is a C1 to find those shadows. Blend that up with the C00 and then decide how dark I want to go. Oh, there we go. Putting a little bit on the tummy of the other guy. And C2 is where I end up with the shadows. So the darkest areas of this little guy. I actually think I go darker. Yep, there's that C4. So that's as dark as I go on him. And then I'll blend that in with the C2. And then after I've got him blended as much as I want, now I'm going to go back in with the R21, give him some pink on the cheeks and ears and nose, and for his little friend as well up there. And then I decided all of the little accessories are going to be red, even those skates. Now I don't know where he bought those skates because I've never seen red skates, but hey, I think they're fun. So R24, 39, and 89 for the red accessories for everybody. And I just thought that would be a nice contrast from the blue sky. You'll really see them, they'll stand out. Once everything was colored, and now, of course, I I took a little time to color all of these images, but I like to do it while I'm watching a movie with the family or something. So, colored them all out, and now I have the coordinating dies, and I will cut them out on the big shot. I'll take some low-tack tape to cut those, and I really like the post-it adhesive roll for that low-tack tape. It just works really well for me. And I know Lawn Fawn has that in their store as well. I couldn't find it online for a long time, but Lawn Fawn has it. So, hey, that was great. Well, anyway, now I have them all cut out and we're ready to add everything to the tags. And one thing I thought would be fun would be to put this sleigh up there and maybe have a mouse as Santa in the sleigh, but oh, maybe for another day. It's a little bit above the sky, and anyway, I thought it was cute, but all I wanted hanging off the edge of the tags was the tails of the scripty words. So another day. All right. Well, I kind of figured out where everybody was going to go, and now I'm taking my tape runner and just adding them on there. Uh, because Fa La La has a lot of bumps in it, I thought a sleigh with a reindeer would be great for that one because the Fa La La L's were a little high up into the sky. So it was a good one for the sleigh and reindeer. And so now here's where I start to perform surgery on the tag. So it's one of those, can this card be saved moments? And yes, very much so. This case, it's a tag, but I'm just taking my craft pick and carefully pulling up the glued letters. And the pick works just great for that. So I can just pull it up a little bit and then I can get their little feet or whatever placed under those edges. And now adding a snowball because of course he needs to be walloping his friend there. And yeah, that one who's ducking and kind of hiding from the snowball, that was me. I was never one to get out and fight. I was the one to duck and cover. I was just a wimp when it came to snowball fights. Now another snowball for this guy, and I think his friend is in for a surprise. And the ice skater is going to have a bumpy ride, but he's going fast here. So he's got some white lines. I'm just using a gel pen to show some whooshing of the air behind him. He's got some speed going. And now for two more snowball fights on these two last tags. It all is determined by how those curves of the scripty words are flowing. I wanted to make sure that they looked pretty natural in those snow hills. I'm using a combination of glue and tape runner to get these guys all onto the tags. I don't really have a rhyme or reason why I used glue for the snowballs and tape runner for the mice. I guess I wanted to be able to reposition the mice in case they just didn't look quite right where they were. Well, now I'm using Lawn Fawn's peppermint hemp cord to create some ties for the tags, and I want to give them enough tie so that they could tie onto something. A lot of times I forget that once they're on, it's not just decoration. I really I really need that string to tie onto something. Well, here they are, all complete. But for a final touch, I'm going to use Lawn Fawn's glitter pen to glitter up those snowballs and the trim of their hats. And now everything sparkles. And I'm going to move one around just so you can see how much it glimmers and shimmers, and ah, it's just a delight. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and it inspired you to maybe make some Christmas tags that glitter and shine, and try out those hot foil plates. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye!